I believe that since the new co-ops have taken over in the north, I believe that it is changing.
Visibly upset and disappointed by the turmoil within the Métis Nation, Brady decided to distance himself from the organization and focus his energies on setting up fisheries and co-ops in the north.
He was very observant to see how people lived and what they were doing. And this is what they were talking about when I remember them. They were talking about cooperatives and also about basic trapping and fishing and all that kind of stuff they were into at that particular time.
Along with Pierre Carrier, Jim Brady started a fishery station in Cumberland House. Soon thereafter, they were able to start more fisheries in northern Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. Inspired by the work Jim and Pierre were doing, Malcolm Norris began to set up fisheries in the Yukon and Northwest Territories.
And the things these people, Jim Brady and him, got going was, I remember way back, they tried to improve the trapper. And they also they boosted up the fishing industry. And one of the things I remember clearly was when they bought in the power plant. And then, and shortly after that, they built I believe the community built a hospital.
At first, the government was helpful in supporting the cooperatives through exclusive trading deals. The co-ops enjoyed a successful run for a while. However, on the cusp of realizing their dream, government policy changes and growing competition from American fisheries spelled the beginning of the end for the co-ops in the north.
Politically, within, and that includes the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, and then the FSIN and AFN and so many others have gone completely into the realm of being controlled by the levels of government. They've succumbed without question any longer. We didn't, we always question it, granting. And once governments have got you into an unconscious state of accepting funding, then they can turn that off and you no longer know what to do. That's what's happening in the FSIN now. No longer was there any idea of reform.
The people he was trying to help, they were too busy fishing, trapping, and trying to survive because we didn't have any welfare at that time. And if you don't go and trap and you didn't go out and look for something to eat, because you were thinking about your belly and then you weren't thinking about politics at that particular time.
The introduction of welfare further complicated Brady's plans for unionizing the workers in the north. Its devastating effects still permeate to this day.
We have so much, there's so many handouts. You know, I mean, granted, we need some of the programming, but sometimes I think we're just programmed to death. You know, it takes away the ability of the community to look after each other. You know, why should anybody have to care what's happening to the kids? Because we got kids organizations, government takes care of that. You know, why should I worry about going to work? Well, government's going to look after that. I think they own everything that we do, and it takes away from us as, you know, as citizens, as community people, as parents, as grandparents. We have no, we let somebody else run our lives for us. And, you know, and the people like yourself that are trying to work in that, how do you break that? It's almost 2 generations of that. And the thing for me, growing up with people like Brady and with Malcolm, is that that's what they said was going to happen, and we had to watch out for that. You know, you won't own yourself anymore. You know, they'll call the shots.
But the welfare showed up in '53. I think that's one of the biggest fights that Jim ran into was welfare. That might have what changed him too, to leave. Even the young people that showed up, like Ray Mackay, Dennis Hunter and those guys, they had to fight the people because they're the ones that were laying out the welfare. See, that was wrong too. a resource officer spending his time with giving out welfare. They should have been doing environment, so it hasn't really changed. Nobody's looking after environment today.